So the Moral Regeneration Movement in the Northwest calls on communities to unite in action against drugs that are destroying the future and lives of mostly the youth. This as drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking are said to be tearing families apart. Convener of the MRM Interim Committee, Pastor Seboko, says the Charter of Positive Values as well as the establishing value-driven communities will reclaim Ubuntu and address the moral decay. Newzroom Afrika's Refiloe Seboko now joins us live. Refiloe, very good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Tell us about what exactly it is that this movement is trying to achieve and how they will do that.
Well, what the Moral Regeneration Movement in the Northwest Province, Aldrin, is trying to achieve, like you said in your intro, that communities need to unite in times of fighting the scourge of drug abuse, but also that is affecting the young people in communities, on how these drugs in communities are affecting families, but not only families, they are also affecting communities, because you'll understand that some who would need to feed their habit, they would talk about how they had to steal certain things at home so that they're able to sell and be able to have money to buy these drugs. But also issues of house break-ins that are said that drug addicts, then because they need to feed their habits, they would be committing certain crimes so that they're able to get items that they will be able to sell for them to be buying these drugs. But issue of rehabilitation, also what Moral Regeneration Movement speaks to say that there needs to be effort that needs to be put in place in trying to assist the youth, teenagers who find themselves engaging with activities of drugs. But also there are quite a couple of factors that the Moral Regeneration Movement says that they have been able to identify what influences or encourages particularly young people to be involved in this crime, having to even abuse drugs. But let's listen into the convener of Moral Regeneration Movement in the Northwest Province, Pastor Seboko, who will highlight as to what is it that they have been able to identify as factors that makes young people, teenagers, be involved in drugs.
Intensified effort and a multi-pronged strategy is required to tackle multiple factors that are contributing towards drug abuse among teenagers and young adults, such as infertility among parents, rejection, abandonment, peer pressure associated with adolescents, as well as bullying that leads to low self-esteem.
So those are some of the factors that Pastor Seboko is highlighting there, Audrey, as to what are contributing to young people, teenagers, having to be involved in these drugs activities, also, that are affecting their lives. You will understand that it was the now Premier of the Northwest Province, Lazarus Mokhosi, when he was appointed as MEC of Social Development in the Northwest Province last year around August. It was then that he visited the Brentford taxi rank here in Mahikeng, where we see, as we are driving around as well around Mahikeng, that some of the drug addicts that are there, drug users that are there, he had went there to engage with them in also trying to speak to the programs and efforts that are being put in place to try and assist them. He had indicated at that time that there was a budget that was allocated of about 4.2 million that will enable NPOs to provide substance abuse prevention services and aftercare to persons with substance use disorder. But are these some of the programs that will be put in government, in place by government? But Moral Regeneration Movement also has some of the who are saying that these are the efforts that needs to be put in place in trying to assist young people to overcome these habits. Let's listen into what Seboko had to say.
Hopes of millions of our young people must be restored through intervention programs that include job creation as well as development of recreational facilities that will provide them with support for their physical fitness, mental health, and social cohesion.
We'll be in touch, Aldrin, with one of the person who was involved in drugs but says that they have recovered so far, just to find out for them in person what is it that they had encouraged them or got them into drugs in the first place, how they made it that they overcome this habit that we really see that it's really affecting people.
Refiloe, thank you so much for your time. Refiloe Seboko there joining us from the Northwest.